How do you feel seeing that this is the direction that we've taken?
I think like a lot of people you mentioned earlier, there are a lot of issues that we're angry about or scared about. I also am very hopeful that we'll do the right thing when it comes to those issues. And I'm hopeful because of how many people actually care about them to come and show up. We didn't show up enough in 2016. And that's, the results were not what those of us on the left wanted. But the people who love the direction the country's gone in are going to show up to vote again. They're early voting and they're out there. So we have to do the same thing. We have to show up. I also think it's interesting, if you're 18 now, you were 8 years old when Obama started running for office the first time.
Mm-hmm.
And I hear a lot of younger progressives talk about things like marriage equality or don't ask, don't tell repeal, or even DACA, and say like, well, that's how it should be. I mean, that's what I grew up with. That's the reality. And so they look at somebody like an Obama or a Biden and they say, those guys are so moderate. They're not progressive enough.
I know.
And my reaction is like, that's a really good sign of progress, right? If the last progressive president isn't progressive enough for you, or if the current progressive candidate is not progressive enough for you, that's because a lot of people fought really hard for that progress so that those goalposts could move. And it's the same thing for conservatives. I mean, for a lot of people, Donald Trump's not conservative enough. They want somebody who's more conservative than him. Lifelong Republicans are like, yeah, Donald Trump is really good because he's doing exactly what Republicans have tried to do for a long time, and they haven't been able to do it, and he's done it. So like people are really looking at what those benchmarks are, and we all have a role to play. You're never going to have your perfect candidate. Like if you're waiting for somebody to give you 100% of what you want, that's just never going to happen. So you have to decide who you align with the most, and then once that person's elected, push them further to get the things that we all want.
Since the name of the show is called Kal Penn Approves This Message, which is mostly associated with what candidates say in their own messaging, would you ever consider running for public office?
I don't think so. I love acting as my first love. I also think it's really important to stay active and stay involved. So we all try to do that in different ways. I don't think running for office is in the cards for me, but I definitely still want to stay involved.